Hello guys, welcome back to our anime explainer. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is upcoming explanation of Battle Through the Heavens based on novel. So let's start. The soul between Xiao Yan's brows trembled the moment he caught sight of those 10 dark black thunderbolts. A wave of indescribable danger entombed his heart. Faced against this unprecedented danger, Xiao Yan did not hesitate in store away the puppets, turn around and flee out of the lightning pool. Xiao Yan did not recognize the miserable figure being chased by the dark black thunderbolts, nor did he wish to be acquainted. That fellow was clearly not an ordinary person. However, the dark black thunderbolts behind him were even more extraordinary. Xiao Yan understood that if he were to even touch a little of that dark black thunderbolt, not even a piece of him would remain. This is really the case of extreme happiness bringing about sorrow. It is unexpected that I have actually met with such trouble within this lightning pool. Xiao Yan unleashed his speed to its limits. Numerous after-images continuously appeared behind him. However, the human figure from behind seemed to have discovered him. Moreover, the thing that caused Xiao Yan to quietly cry out was that this fellow did not flee in another direction after seeing him, rather the fellow chased after him. Damn it, I do not have the ability to help you. Xiao Yan involuntarily cursed when he sensed the frightening pressure that was rushing over from behind. That fellow was clearly intending on finding a helper to join hands and fight the Black Thunderbolt. However, it was clear that he had overestimated Xiao Yan, the friend in front. While Xiao Yan was wildly fleeing with all his might, the rushing sound of wind appeared behind him, and a ghost-like figure appeared beside him. This figure was just about to speak when he became stunned. 5-star Dozun. Is this right? You actually dared to come to this empty realm lightning pool with this little bit of strength. Are you sure? Xiao Yan almost vomited blood when he heard this voice. He was training properly, yet this fellow had attracted a great amount of trouble. Additionally, he even slighted Xiao Yan's strength. Silver light flickered under Xiao Yan's feet. He rushed forward with all his strength. Taking advantage of a small opportunity, the corner of his eye caught a glance of the human figure beside him. The owner of this figure appeared quite old. His head was covered with some white hair. His robes were mostly in tatters. Clearly, they were destroyed by the thunderbolts. However, the thing that caused Xiao Yan to feel somewhat shocked was that this old fellow still gave off a liveliness even with his miserable appearance. It was as though the overwhelmingly destructive thunderbolt did not cause him much harm. This old fellow is definitely not an ordinary person. I wonder just where this hidden expert came from. A thought swiftly flew through Xiao Yan's heart at this moment. Of course, even if one used one's but to think, one could tell that this old fellow was not an ordinary person since he dared to step into the deepest part of the lightning pool, where even Xiao Yan did not dare to venture. Moreover, he was easily able to catch up to Xiao Yan even after Xiao Yan had dashed away with all his strength. One could simply see that the speed and strength of this old fellow had far surpassed Xiao Yan. However, the current Xiao Yan wasn't able to form even the slightest interest as to where this miserable-looking expert had come from, because he could sense those dark black thunderbolts approaching. Is this right? Those damn things behind are really too fast, no. Forget it. Little fellow, the old me shall take my leave first. That miserable old man had naturally sensed this as well. He let out a strange cry, and the space in front of him distorted as he entered it. The next time he appeared, he was already 1,000 meters away. Old bastard. Xiao Yan was a little stunned when he saw this old fellow escaping as he wished. He furiously cursed to himself. Although Xiao Yan was cursing, his speed was not reduced as a result. He clenched his teeth, and his back trembled. Bone wings extended behind him. The wings were flapped, and his speed suddenly soared. Within a couple of flashes, he appeared a great distance away. After which, he simply fled without turning his head. After unleashing his speed to its limit throughout this journey, Xiao Yan gradually escaped the dark black lightning. However, he did not dare to slow too much. Lifting his head to take a glance, he saw that he was near the edge of the lightning pool. He increased his speed and charged out of the rumbling lightning pool. Xiao Yan continued to pant after having charged out of the lightning pool. Fear lingered on his face. It was difficult to imagine just what kind of miserable ending would have befallen him if he had been struck by the dark black lightning. It is unexpected that the lightning pool is not as safe as I had imagined. There is definitely something frightening in the deepest part. Otherwise, that old fellow would not have jumped up and down. After calming down, Xiao Yang's expression gradually recovered as he muttered to himself. Is that right? You think those things cause the old me to jump up and down? If I was not afraid that doing something might stir a riot within this lightning pool, the old me would have long since destroyed them. Xiao Yang's voice had just sounded when a voice strangely exploded beside his ear, causing him to start. He hurriedly lifted his head, only to see that miserable old man suspended in front of him. The old man's eyes watched him. The corner of Xiao Yang's mouth involuntarily twitched when he saw this old man. However, due to the other party's frightening strength, he could only swallow the curse in his mouth. He changed the topic and asked, "What are those things?" "A group of thunderbolt monsters that possess some intelligence," the old man curled his lips and replied. Xiao Yang knit his brows when he heard this explanation. However, he did not feel overly surprised. A heavenly flame would gain its own intelligence if it existed for a long time. The terrain of this place was unique and lightning had gathered here for a countless number of years. Thus, it was not strange for some unusual beings to be born. Xiao Yang's eyes swept over this old man, who appeared miserable. His heart obtained a shocking result. It was unexpected to meet an ultimate expert of such a class within this empty realm. However, this person, who repeatedly said, "Is this right?" seemed to possess a terrible character, and had nearly caused him to die. He, little fellow, although your strength cannot make it, you are quite fast. Originally, I thought of lending you a hand, but you unexpectedly escaped. The old man rubbed his hands together and smiled as he spoke. I was merely lucky. The corner of Xiao Yang's mouth parted, but he was screaming a string of curses in his heart. Who knew whether this old fellow spoke the truth or not? Little fellow, those living creatures deep within this lightning pool are extremely strange. They are all formed from lightning. If one can absorb them, they are really great items of nourishment. It seems that your speed is quite good. Why don't the two of us join hands and enter the deep region for fun? The old man laughed. Xiao Yang dryly laughed with him when he heard these words. He hurriedly shook his head. Enter the deep parts. What kind of a joke was this? Just one random black thunderbolt could kill him. It was fine when he was unaware of them in the past. Now that he was aware of they existed, he would no longer step into that place even if he was beaten to death. Additionally, one glance at this old fellow and Xiao Yang knew that he was not trustworthy. Cooperating with this old fellow, Xiao Yang really did not wish to attract trouble again. Is this right? The courage of the young people these days really cannot make it. The old man involuntarily curled his mouth when he saw Xiao Yang shake his head. He lazily said, "However, it is fate that we meet. My surname is Mang. However, it is likely that a little fellow like you will not know the name of the old me." Surname Mang. Xiao Yang thought for a moment, but was not aware of such an ultimate expert. It was likely that the true experts of the Central Plains region kept a low profile. Ignorant younger generation. Seeing that Xiao Yang really did not recognize him, this old man with the surname Mang let out a sad sigh. However, the words that he spoke caused Xiao Yang to be speechless. A wind-splitting sound suddenly rushed over from a great distance while Xiao Yang was speechless. At the same time, a clear voice was transmitted over, "Little brother Xiao Yang, are you all right? Huh? You are someone from the ancient Void Dragon tribe." That old man with the surname Mang was slightly startled when he saw the figure rushing over. He glanced at Xiao Yang with some surprise, feeling a little strange that an ordinary human would have a relationship with the ancient Void Dragon tribe. Forget it. Since this is the case, the old me shall leave. Little fellow, your performance was not bad. However, there is too much of a gap between you and the old me. You should work hard. That old man seemed to be unwilling to meet anyone else. Hence, he waved his hand at Xiao Yang. Before Xiao Yang could speak, the old man had turned around and disappeared in a spatial fluctuation. Xiao Yang was helpless when he saw the old man disappearing so quickly. He could only turn his head and look at the approaching He Qing. I have finally found you. Fortunately, your body possesses the dragon seal that the great dragon emperor placed on you. Otherwise, it would not be easy to find you. He Qing sighed in relief and spoke when he saw that Xiao Yang was safe and sound. I met with a small accident within the lightning pool. Therefore, I have come out by myself. Xiao Yang smiled. He did not describe what happened within the lightning pool in detail. After which, he waved his hand and said, "My training is about done. We should return." "All right. I was about to become totally dull from staying in this place." He Qing rejoiced upon hearing that Xiao Yang was finished. He hurriedly nodded as a light soared from his body, and he transformed into an enormous black dragon in the blink of an eye. Xiao Yang rushed onto the dragon's head. After which, a dragon roar resounded and the light figure turned into a flash, which rushed away. Within the blink of an eye, it had disappeared at the edge of the empty realm. Soon after Xiao Yang and He Qing left, another fluctuation appeared in space. An elderly figure appeared. It was the old man with the surname Mang from earlier. At this moment, he was frowning as he looked in the direction where Xiao Yang had left. It was as though he was thinking of something. "Xiao Yang, this name appears a little familiar." An uncertain mutter slowly reverberated across the empty space. Xiao Yang discovered that the atmosphere of the ancient dragon island had changed when he returned. There were also significantly more hidden auras on the island. This kind of discovery caused Xiao Yang's heart to feel a little awed. These powerful auras were likely those elders from the ancient void dragon tribe, who had been training within the empty realm. The Dragon Emperor had appeared once again. These elders, who were unwilling to fight each other because of a split in the tribe, had once again returned to the Eastern Dragon Island. Xiao Yang quietly muttered within his heart. Of course, he also understood that this path would definitely not be an easy one. Xiao Yang had listened to He Qing when he mentioned some of the information related to the other three great dragon islands. The Eastern Dragon Island was ranked as the weakest of the four with its strength back then. From this, one could imagine just how terrifyingly strong the so-called three great dragon kings were. Although these three big fellows possessed a royal bloodline, theirs were not as pure or rich as Ziyang's bloodline. However, given their wild ambition, they would definitely not allow Ziyang to complete the unification. Should that happen, their positions would greatly decline, and there would once again be a person above their heads to order them around. This was something that the three dragon kings would find difficult to accept after they had gotten used to issuing their own orders. "Cuckoo, little friend Xiao Yang, you are finally back. The empty realm lightning pool is too dangerous. I was afraid that some accident might have happened to you there." Elder Zhu Li appeared in front of Xiao Yang and He Qing soon after the both of them entered Eastern Dragon Island. He smiled at Xiao Yang as he spoke. "Thank you for your concern, Elder Zhu Li." Xiao Yang smiled. He cupped his hands to Elder Zhu Li and glanced behind his back. There were two white-robed elders there. These two elders were people Xiao Yang had never seen before. However, Xiao Yang understood from their vague auras that their strengths were likely 8th star dozens or higher. "Cuckoo, these two are elders within my ancient dragon tribe. However, they had been training within the empty realm in the past and just returned." Elder Zhu Li smiled and introduced them when he saw the surprise in Xiao Yang's eyes. "Greetings to both elders." Xiao Yang smiled. He cupped his hands to the both of them in a courteous manner. The two elders smiled and returned the greeting, matching Xiao Yang's politeness. Elder Zhu Li had informed them of the relationship between the Xiao Yang in front of them and the great dragon emperor. Naturally, they would not slight him. "Young Master Xiao Yang." A joyous cry was transmitted from below while Xiao Yang was chatting with Elder Zhu Li's group. Immediately, a green figure flashed over and stood prettily in front of him. Qing Lin. Xiao Yang was startled when he saw this lovely girl appear in front of him. He joyously asked, "You have come out of your retreat?" It's all thanks to the dragon aura within the ancient dragon tomb. In addition to that, a couple of ancient dragon elders lent me a hand. Only then was the soul of the nine-headed heavenly serpent refined." Qing Lin sweetly smiled. "Cuckoo, the nine-headed heavenly serpent within Qing Lin's body had yet to be completely refined. However, it won't be able to do much after this and will sooner or later be assimilated by Qing Lin." Elder Zhu Li laughed. Xiao Yang's eyes swept over Qing Lin's body. His brows were immediately lifted, because he had discovered that the current Qing Lin was slightly stronger than him. 6-star Dozun. Qing Lin nodded. She involuntarily laughed with a lovely voice when she saw Xiao Yang's somewhat helpless face. There is no need to be depressed. The triple jade green snake flower pupils is the top mysterious pupils in the world. She is probably the only one in the entire continent who possesses it. Moreover, it is likely that only one nine-headed heavenly serpent's soul remains in the world. If either of these two things had been missing, it would have been impossible for Qinglin's strength to soar. Moreover, she will only get such an opportunity once. Elder Zhu Li fondled his beard as he spoke. Xiao Yang bitterly laughed and nodded. He naturally understood that such an increase in strength would require many extremely harsh conditions. However, seeing this girl's strength leap by nearly 5 stars would make anyone's heart feel a little unbalanced. With Qinglin's current 6-star strength along with the strength of the triple jade green snake flower pupils, it is likely that she could even fight with a 7-star Dozun. Moreover, the snake sealing ability of the triple jade green snake flower pupils has definitely been strengthened. The current her might even possess the strength to seal a 7-star Dozun expert of the snake tribe. Xiao Yang sighed. His heart had gained a much deeper understanding of the triple jade green snake flower pupils. Such a pair of eyes was indeed worthy of being the top on the continent. Elder Zhu Li, has Zi Yang still not left her retreat? Xiao Yang mused for a moment before changing the topic to ask a question. Not yet. The Great Dragon Emperor will require a long period of time this time around. Even the old me is uncertain when she will leave her retreat. Zhu Li frowned and replied. Xiao Yang quietly nodded. He said, in that case, I won't be able to remain here for much longer. I have been away for too long. Teacher might be worried if I continue to remain outside. Zhu Li did not stop Xiao Yang after seeing that he intended to leave. The atmosphere of the Eastern Dragon Island was currently quite solemn. It was wary of being attacked by the other 3 Great Dragon Islands. It was not very safe for Xiao Yang to remain here. Zhu Li thought for a while before nodding and saying, it's just as well. Little friend Xiao Yang. You should hold onto this spatial jade token. You can shatter it if you have wished to come to my Eastern Dragon Island. The spatial strength within it will form a spatial tunnel and transport you here. Zhu Li took out an exquisite silver jade token, handed it to Xiao Yang, and smiled as he explained what it could do. Xiao Yang did not reject this gift. This kind of spatial jade token was something that only an expert at the Bansheng class could make. Moreover, it was quite troublesome to craft it. In that case, Xiao Yang shall not remain any longer. If there is a problem in the future, I will do my best to help as long as it is within my ability. Xiao Yang cupped his hands to Elder Zhu Li and spoke with a grin. Definitely. Help the old me ask about Yao Chen when you return to the Falling Star Pavilion. Elder Zhu Li smiled and nodded at He Qing. He Qing by the side waved his hand when he saw the nod. A crevice was torn in space as he said with a smile, little brother Xiao Yang, please. Xiao Yang grinned. He once again cupped his hands to the few people. After which, he strode into the crevice. Qinglin and He Qing followed behind him. The spatial crack slowly disappeared after the 3 of them entered it. There were some deep magical beast roars resounding over the lush green mountain range. A crack line suddenly appeared in space amid these spreading roars. Immediately, 3 human figures slowly walked out. Naturally, they were Xiao Yang's trio, who had just left the Eastern Dragon Island. Xiao Yang looked at the endless mountains and the land that extended into the distance as he stepped out of the spatial crack. After which, he raised his head to look at the azure sky. He involuntarily exhaled a gentle breath. Compared to the endless empty realm, the true continent allowed one to relax. Little brother Xiao Yang, you will reach the Falling Star Pavilion in less than half a day's time if you head north from here. Due to the situation within the tribe, I am in a hurry to return. Therefore, I will not be able to personally send the both of you back to the Falling Star Pavilion. He Qing looked all around. He identified his bearings before informing Xiao Yang. I have troubled old brother He Qing. Xiao Yang smiled, cupped his hands to He Qing, and thanked him. Once the large matters with the ancient dragon tribe stabilize, I will be able to randomly come out as I please. At that time, I will help you finish off the members of the Hall of Souls should I meet them. He Qing patted his chest and laughed. Xiao Yang grinned and nodded. He Qing was meticulous even with his rough ways. His character was not bad. He was someone who was extremely suitable to befriend. All right, I shall not be long-winded. Let's part ways here. He Qing waved his hand at Xiao Yang. He ceased saying any unnecessary words as he once again tore open space. His body moved, and he entered the crack. Let's go. Xiao Yang smiled after seeing He Qing leave. He turned and flew to the north. Qinglin followed close behind. By following heading in the direction that He Qing had pointed, a familiar scene appeared in Xiao Yang's eyes within less than half a day. The grand-looking falling star pavilion was also partially visible in the distance. Within the large meeting hall of the falling star pavilion, Yao Lao, who was discussing something with Feng Zunjie, suddenly moved his brows. He softly laughed. They are finally back. Yao Lao's laughter had just sounded when a fluctuation appeared within the space of the large hall. Immediately, two figures slowly appeared from the fluctuating space. Xiao Yan. Feng Zunjie was slightly startled when he saw the young man appearing. Shock suddenly surfaced on his face, because he sensed Xiao Yang's aura was a little stronger than his at this moment. It seemed that you had gained quite a lot from your trip this time around. Yao Lao spoke with a smile and was not too surprised. Xiao Yang beamed. He found a chair by the side and sat down. After which, he explained the general situation during this period of time. Yao Lao and Feng Zunjie nodded gently as they listened. It is unexpected you are able to communicate with the ancient Void Dragon tribe. Yao Lao smiled. He lifted his teacup and said, I also have some good news. Oh? What is it? Xiao Yang was startled when he heard this. His eyes landed on Yao Lao. It is related to the purifying demonic lotus flame. Yao Lao replied. A joy that could not be hidden immediately surged onto Xiao Yang's face when he heard Yao Lao's. The last map fragment for the purifying demonic lotus flame has been obtained. Xiao Yang's face was filled with surprise. The purifying demonic lotus flame was a heavenly flame that he had always dreamed of. It was ranked third on the heavenly flame ranking, which proved just how strong it was. With Xiao Yang's current strength, he could rise to the peak of the Dozun class if he were to swallow and refine it. How can it be so easy? Yao Lao helplessly shook his head, pouring cold water over Xiao Yang. He said, the purifying demonic lotus flame is an extremely mysterious heavenly flame. Even I have never personally seen it. It is already a great blessing that you have obtained 3 map fragments. However, it is not so easy to obtain the last map fragment. Then what is the good news that teacher has mentioned? Xiao Yang was startled before becoming slightly depressed. Even his voice had become a little weak. We have not obtained the final map fragment, but we have come across news related to it. Yao Lao fondled his beard and softly laughed. What news? Xiao Yang's somewhat depressed mood was braced. He hurriedly inquired. There is a special spatial trade fair held within the Central Plains every few years. An ordinary expert would not know about this spatial trade fair. Even some of the experts, whose strength has reached the Do Zone class, would not be aware of it without a special channel. Yao Lao grinned and said, this is because the first qualification to participate in the spatial trade fair is that one's strength must at least reach the peak of the Do Zone class. In other words, most of those who can participate are the true top-tier experts of this continent. Spatial trade fair requires one to at least be at the peak of the Do Zone class. Xiao Yang was involuntarily startled when he heard this information. After which, smacked his mouth. The entry qualification for this trade fair was indeed a little frightening. Peak of the Do Zone class. Even top-tier factions would attempt to attract these people. However, these people barely had the qualification to participate. Moreover, this so-called spatial trade fair was something that Xiao Yang had never even heard of. It was likely because of the lack of a so-called channel. The last map fragment of the purifying demonic lotus flame will appear at this spatial trade fair. Xiao Yang asked while thinking things through. I have some friends within the people at the spatial trade fair. I have made an inquiry this time around and coincidentally heard this information. The owner of the last map fragment is also aware that this map is related to the purifying demonic lotus flame. However, he plans to use it to exchange for other things since he only possesses 1 fragment. Yao Lao said. Since he is aware that this map is related to a rare object like the purifying demonic lotus flame, it is likely that the price to exchange for it will be quite great. Xiao Yang voiced his thoughts. When he obtained the map fragments in the past, the people who had obtained them from were completely unaware of their meaning. Hence, Xiao Yang had gained a great advantage. This time around someone had recognized it, making it more troublesome to obtain it. However, there is no other choice. This is the only news that we have obtained that is related to the purifying demonic lotus flame. If we do not grab a hold of it, it is likely that we will never come across the purifying demonic lotus flame. Yao Lao said. Forget it. No matter who that person is, since this thing has appeared, I must obtain it. Xiao Yan mused for a moment before gritting his teeth to speak. The purifying demonic lotus flame was something Xiao Yan had coveted ever since he had obtained the first ancient map of this heavenly flame. He had gathered the other ancient maps after much difficulty. How could he give up now that he was lacking one map fragment that revealed the location of the flame? Moreover, Xiao Yan would be able to fight against the Hall of Souls if he possessed the purifying demonic lotus flame. He could kill the whatever ninth Tianzuan and other top characters with one slap. Yao Lao nodded. He immediately laughed. However, I cannot quite remember some things, because the spatial trade fair is conducted once every 10 years. Quite a number of mysterious treasures appeared, and it was even possible to find a Qian-class Do skill. Qian-class Do skill. Xiao Yang's expression was a little stunned when he heard this information. His heart thought even more highly of this spatial trade fair. A Qian-class Do skill was usually something those super factions could possess. Moreover, most of them were treasures guarded by the sect. No one could easily take it out to exchange with others. One example was the Great Heaven Creation Palm that Xiao Yan had obtained. If he had not been lucky, he would not have obtained it. How much longer until the spatial trade fair begins? Xiao Yan frowned and asked. There's less than a year left. Yao Lao counted the time and replied. It won't be for a long time, Xiao Yan knit his brows even more tightly. The current him could not help but wish to find the person who possessed the final ancient map. Regardless of what method he had to use, he needed to obtain that ancient map. There is no choice. If you anxiously require a heavenly flame, you can see if there has been news of any other heavenly flames, or perhaps snatch it from those who have one. I wonder which faction on the continent, other than the Burning Flame Valley, possesses the most heavenly flames. Feng Zunja by the side joked. Xiao Yang bitterly smiled. How could it be so easy to find something like a heavenly flame? The faction with the most heavenly flames in this world is likely the Yang clan. Yao Lao smiled and suddenly informed them. Yang clan? Xiao Yang was startled when he heard this answer. What faction was this? Why had he never heard of it? It is one of the 8 ancient clans and one of the hidden factions. Its strength is far beyond your imagination. The Central Plains is not as simple as it seems on the surface. The so-called 1 hall 1 tower, 2 sects 3 valleys, 4 pavilions is merely a general form of address. Some true top factions are hidden even more deeply than the Jiyu clan. Yao Lao faintly explained. 8 ancient clans. Xiao Yang's heart pounded when he heard this term again. He hesitated for a moment before asking, just which clans are these 8 ancient clans? Yao Lao was quiet for a moment. Only then did he reply, the Jiyu clan and Hun Sol clan belong to the 8 ancient clans. Other than those 2 clans, there are still 5 other clans that still exist. They are the Yang clan, Yao clan, Shi clan, Lei clan, and Ling clan. Xiao Yang involuntarily inhaled a gentle breath of cold air when he heard these names that he had never heard before. This world did indeed exceed his expectations. Originally, he thought that the Hall of Souls was the strongest. It was unexpected that they were merely one of the so-called 8 ancient clans. It seems that there are only 7 clans. Xiao Yang was quiet for a moment before suddenly inquiring. Yao Lao stared at Xiao Yang. A moment later, he said, there is still one ancient clan that has been abandoned, the Xiao clan, which is your current Xiao family. Xiao Yang slowly exhaled a breath of air. It was as though he wanted to exhale the many distractions within his heart. He had never imagined that the Xiao clan, located in the corner and only surviving in a second-rate city within the Jioma Empire, possessed a legendary origin that even he could not have imagined. Although Xiao Yang was not aware of how powerful this so-called Xiao clan was, it naturally possessed a monstrous strength in order to contend against a faction like the Hun Sol clan and the Jiyu clan. However, the Xiao clan, which had been prominent once, had already been eliminated by merciless time. The Xiao clan had once produced a Do Di. Hence, the descendants of that line possessed the bloodline of a Do Di. However, this kind of bloodline only reached the generation of your ancestor Xiao Xian, before being used by him, Yao Lao slowly explained. The bloodline of a Do Di might be powerful, but it does not last forever. There is a time when it will run out. To continue preserving the bloodline, another Do Di needs to appear and provide the bloodline with energy and life. Unfortunately, the the Xiao clan has never groomed an elite Dodi ever since that Dodi of the Xiao clan. The strongest is merely your ancestor Xiao Yan. Similarly, his act of staking it all, putting in everything, was still not enough to rescue this declining clan. By now, the so-called Dodi bloodline of the Xiao clan has gone to waste. I have never sensed even the slightest Dodi bloodline in your body after so many years. Perhaps you should also be clearly aware of this. Xiao Yan quietly nodded. During these years of training, he had relied on himself during the critical life and death moment in order to break through. His Dodi bloodline was completely useless. Cuckoo, there is no need to feel any burden in your heart, because you don't need the Dodi bloodline with your strength. Teacher believes that you will sooner or later rebirth the abandoned Dodi bloodline of the Xiao clan. Yao Lao patted Xiao Yang's shoulder and spoke with gentle eyes. Xiao Yang slightly smiled. What could the Dodi bloodline do? With his current achievement, he was not the least bit afraid even if he met the young experts from the ancient clans, who possessed the bloodline of a Dodi. The only gap between the two of them was just how much effort they put in, but everyone understood that the process was unimportant. The most important thing was the result. Nobody was concerned about whether one's training journey was smooth or bumpy. All people look at was one's final achievement. Yao Lao nodded in a pleased manner when he saw Xiao Yang's expression. This disciple was the best choice regardless if it was in terms of talent or character. Although he had been immature, the current him had returned to his simple and less haughty state. This continent will sooner or later remember his name forever. Why does teacher understand these 8 ancient clans so well? Wouldn't an ordinary person find it difficult to learn such information, right? Xiao Yang's eyes suddenly landed on Yao Lao as he smiled and asked a pointed question. Cuckoo, cunning fellow, you have guessed something, huh? Yao Lao was startled before he replied with a grin. Does teacher and that so-called Yao clan have any relation? Xiao Yang softly inquired. Yao Lao held a teacup in his hand. A faint smile appeared on his elderly face. However, this smile contained a sadness and a bitterness. I am indeed a member of the Yao clan. However, I belong to the type abandoned by the clan. Abandoned? Xiao Yang was startled as he faced Yao Lao in front of him. He only softly asked after a long while, with teacher's medicinal refining talent, hardly anyone across the current Do Chi continent could compare with you. How could you be a person abandoned by the Yao clan? It is because of the Do Di bloodline. Yao Lao hinted at a smile. The emotions on his face slowly withdrew as he explained, being born within an ancient clan comes with a far greater pressure than other places. There, one's status is differentiated by the richness of one's bloodline. However, both of us are similar. The Do Di bloodline flowing within my body is so thin that it is insignificant. When I was in the Yao clan, I was eventually expelled due to the failure of a mission I was performing. I was dissatisfied after leaving and began to place all of my effort into pill refinement. I roamed the Central Plains alone, muddled along for nearly a century, and gained some achievements. Back then, I still bore the whimsical thought that the clan would once again summon me back. However, with the flow of time, this kind of hope gradually disappeared. Yao Lao softly continued, this clan might be the place that raised me, but I do not have much feelings for them. My parents had died when I was young. Subsequently, I gradually forgot about them and did not even remember them. Moreover, only some members of the Yao clan are aware that I was once a member of that clan. Even the Hall of Souls is unaware. Xiao Yang was quiet. It seemed that Yao Lao felt rejected by the Yao clan. Otherwise, he would not fail to mention a sliver about it after so many years. With teacher's current strength, no one would be able to stop you if you wished to return to the Yao clan, right? Xiao Yang asked. Is there any meaning to returning to that kind of place? During these years, I have only been aware that I am Yao Chen. However, this Yao is not the Yao of the Yao clan. Since they think that the old me is a useless person, the old me shall show them how well I am doing within the Central Plains, and that people without the Do Di bloodline can truly become a top expert. Yao Lao smiled when he spoke. He turned to Xiao Yang and said, moreover, the old me will show them that even the disciple that the old me has recruited will far exceed the people who possess a Do Di bloodline, which they so treasure. Xiao Yang nodded. His heart felt an additional dislike for this so-called Yao clan. Forget it. Let's not talk about this. There is hardly anyone within this Central Plains region who are aware of these 8 ancient clans. However, you currently possess the qualification to know about them. This is the reason why I am telling you this now. Yao Lao was also unwilling to continue being entangled with this topic for long. He immediately waved his hands as he explained his reasoning. As for the faction with the most heavenly flames that I mentioned earlier, it should be the Yang clan, which is one of the 8 ancient clans. Yao Lao mused for a moment before speaking. Based on what I know, the Yang clan should be in possession of 4 types of heavenly flames. Among them, there are 2 heavenly flames in the top 10. 4 types of heavenly flames. Xiao Yan was startled when he heard this. This was the first time that he had heard of a faction possessing such a number of heavenly flames. Other than the Yang clan, the Yao clan also possesses 2 types of heavenly flames. They specialize in ancient medicinal refinement. There are quite a number of experts within the clan. It is likely that you will get a chance to meet them in the future. At that time, you will be aware of their specialty. Of course, there is no need for you to be afraid of them. With your current medicinal refinement skills, the number of people among the younger generation of the Yao clan who could beat you can be counted with one hand. Yao Lao smiled as he spoke. Countable with one hand. Xiao Yang frowned upon hearing these words. If there were no unique circumstances, he likely had the best medicinal pill refinement skill among the younger generation in the Central Plains. However, this ability was only ranked behind the top 5 within the Yao clan. This ranking caused him to feel a little dissatisfied. Of course, you should forget about placing your intentions on these heavenly flames, because the 2 great clans have already added an inherited seal that is stronger than that of the Burning Flame Valley's 9 Dragon Lightning Flame during their countless years of inheritance. You will not be able to refine and swallow them even if you do obtain them. Yao Lao grinned as he continued to speak. Xiao Yang nodded with a bitter smile. He also did not possess such thoughts. In order for the Yao clan and the Yang clan to survive until now, their strength was not weak. He currently did not possess much courage to place his intention on them. After all, just one Hall of Souls had already left him in a battered shape. It was not wise to add more powerful opponents now. It looks like I can only quietly wait for the so-called spatial trade fair to begin, Xiao Yang hopelessly lamented. Yao Lao smiled and said, the spatial trade fair will require one to wait. However, you still have to make a trip somewhere before then. Where? Xiao Yang asked in surprise. Jiyu clan, Jiyu realm. Yao Lao softly replied. Xiao Yang's hand suddenly trembled when he heard these names. An extremely beautiful face that could bring disaster to cities and countries along with an elegant lotus-like demeanor slowly surfaced in his mind. No matter what the case was, it would not disappear. Zun-er. Xiao Yang inhaled a deep breath of air. A fiery heat suddenly surged into his dark black eyes. That little girl had always caused him to worry since the beginning. In another month's time, the adult ceremony of the Jiyu clan will be held. It is held once every 2 decades. This is a great event within the Jiyu clan, because those who are qualified to participate in this adult ceremony are all the most outstanding members of the younger generation within the Jiyu clan. There are not many factions that can receive an invitation from the Jiyu clan. If I had not advanced to the Banshing class this time around, it is likely that the Falling Star Pavilion would not have received this qualification. Yao Lao took a black jade invitation from his storage ring. There were many mysterious lines outlining it. It gave one a mysterious feeling. This is the invitation. Only by possessing it will one be able to enter the Jiyu realm. Originally, the old me should be the one heading there this time around. However, you should also be aware of the situation that the current Falling Star Pavilion faces. Although quite a number of old fellows on the continent have joined the Falling Star Pavilion recently, the thing that truly causes the Hall of Soul to be afraid of doing anything funny is this banishing strength of mine. Hence, I am unable to personally accept the invitation of the Jiyu clan this time around. This task can only be left to you, Yao Lao beamed. He handed the black jade invitation to Xiao Yang as he gave a valid reason. Xiao Yang stared intently at the black jade invitation. A moment later, he finally extended his hand and received it. The Jiyu clan was a powerful clan that had a connection with the Xiao clan. He was finally about to make direct contact with them, A faint warmth spread when the black jade invitation entered Xiao Yang's hand. It also caused his heart to gradually recover. Those who have been invited by the Jiyu clan are powerful factions and peak-level experts on the continent. This is also an experience for you. Of course, with your current strength and reputation, you have reached the level where you are on even terms, Yao Lao smiled as he asked. So, do you have the courage to go? Teacher, you can rest assured. Xiao Yan gently tightened his hand over the jade invitation. He smiled and softly said, this disciple will definitely not cause teacher to lose face. Ha ha, I am not worried about this. Yao Lao loudly laughed. After which, he patted Xiao Yang's shoulders and continued, you should leave after a couple of days. I am aware of the relationship between you and Zun. You should be more cautious when you reach the Jiyu clan area. That girl is extremely outstanding within the Jiyu clan. I am aware that she possesses the most complete Do Di bloodline within the Jiyu clan in so many years. She has the greatest chance of breaking through to that legendary level. Hence, it is not easy if you wish to be with her. Xiao Yang quietly nodded. He had already vaguely sensed Zun's position within the Jiyu clan a long time ago. However, her voice and smile were like carving blades that left deep impressions within Xiao Yang's soul. He was unable to remove them. In this world, there was no strength that could remove this imprint, even the powerful Jiyu clan could do nothing. You should also bring Tianhua Zunja and the little fairy doctor along when you head to the Jiyu realm. Yao Lao said. After helping Tianhua Zunja refine some medicinal pills, his strength has recovered to a 6-star Do Zun. I only helped the little fairy doctor refine a little of her woeful poison body. After which, I asked her to head to a place on her own. What place? Xiao Yang asked in a startled manner when he heard this. An old tomb that an ordinary person is unaware of. She will be able to obtain the method to completely control the woeful poison body there. The poison pill method that I left behind was obtained from that place. Yao Lao fondled his beard, grinned and replied. Oh? Xiao Yang was surprised. This poison pill method was not left behind by Yao Lao. Just what kind of mysterious person created such a wonderful method? Why does that person have such a great understanding of the woeful poison body? Xiao Yang asked in surprise. It is likely that there will not be a second person who understands the woeful poison body more than her, because she was also in possession of a woeful poison body when she was alive. However, she does not possess the good luck of the little fairy doctor. The method to control the poison body was also something that she had created when she was about to die, Yao Lao said. She actually also had the woeful poison body, no wonder. The little fairy doctor will obtain the method to completely control the woeful poison body at the place where that person rests. At that time, she will be the first person in history to truly control the woeful poison body. Yao Lao laughed as he said, when the little fairy doctor returns, it will be time for you to head to the ancient realm. Xiao Yang slowly nodded. He curled his lips. His hand suddenly tightened on the jade invitation. Zun. I said that the next time we meet will be at the Jiyu clan. Therefore, wait for me. Part 1 end here.